some people's Instagram, it is their personality. These people are void of anything going on besides taking a Instagram photo. When you see them out, they're just like sitting there like, they don't have conversation. They don't know how to engage with people. All they know how to do is look good on Instagram. Can you imagine how unfulfilling that must feel? Hello, angels. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a very interesting topic that we're going to be talking about today. And as you guys can see from the title, I'm not an Instagram baddie, and I'm actually really happy about it. Now, this is something that I feel like a lot of us may have struggled with. Like, do I have the right Instagram feed? How does this look? How does that look? And we've all been around people that literally can't function without taking some sort of picture, and they struggle to be present. And there are so many pressures and things like that come with, I guess, that Instagram baddie image. So if you are curious about what I mean by this and you want to talk about it, then keep on watching. I feel like the magnitude in today's society and also in influencer culture, it creates a crazy amount of pressure to conform to that Instagram baddie aesthetic. And to be honest with you, I'm proud that I never really fit the mold. I mean, I remember there was one point in my life where I had hired this person to help me with social media, and basically she would tell me what I was supposed to be doing and posting every day, and she would give me different ideas, whatever. And at that time, I was very hell-bent on trying to make my Instagram feed, trying to do that whole color scheme thing. I'm sure you guys know what it is that I'm talking about. And it was just such a struggle for me. Even to this day, which is why I don't conform to it, it's just it takes so much energy, I feel of me to filter every photo and make it look like, this and that. And there was definitely a point in time where I felt why can't I get this? Why can't I capture this in the way that I want it to look? And otherwise, I just don't want to upload it all on Instagram. I would rather not upload it all. And there was a point in time too where I literally took a year off of uploading on Instagram completely, because I just would put so much pressure on myself to have my feed look a certain way. And I'd be annoyed if the photo didn't really match and yada, yada, yada. I want to really emphasize to you guys why having your own unique and individual style is always going to be more beneficial than you trying to be like everyone else, or even you trying to be like someone else if it is just not simply you. There's one thing, to draw inspiration from someone because there are a lot of parallels and similarities. And there's another thing to force yourself into living a life, or presenting in a way that you're living a life and it's genuinely causing you strife because everything has to look according to how that person's life looks. So I want to define what an Instagram baddie really is. And it's basically a term used to describe a beauty and fashion trend that is commonly seen on Instagram. So it typically involves the same hairstyles, the same makeup looks, the same minimal or very revealing clothing. And it's also in relation to or corresponds to people that curate their feeds in a way to make people feel like their lives appear perfect, or keeping up with the Joneses. And I mean, after a while, and I'm sure you all understand what it is that I'm talking about, where it's you can't tell the difference from one girl to the next because it's the same photo, the same places. People will even go to the same places and take the same photos in very similar outfits and all these different things. And there's just no distinguishing factor. And it's just everything, as soon as the trend goes on, you're following that trend. And that's a very dangerous way to live. And we'll get into that a little bit more, but it's a dangerous way to live your life where you always have to be doing what everybody else is doing. And this trend has definitely exploded over the years, I guess starting with the Kardashians, right? And personally, I think I would say it's fair to say that Kylie and Kim have really popularized the whole Instagram baddie type of look. On the other hand, you have the I guess in more urban culture, like Ari and people like that. I don't think Jada Waita does that much stuff anymore. I don't know. I don't really keep up with them, but like they have that aesthetic. I remember there was one point where these like bodysuits were trending, and there was like two in particular I'm thinking of. There was one where it had like moons on it. And I thought it was literally hideous, but people were wearing that bodysuit. And then there was another one where it was literally like see-through. Like the jumpsuit, whatever, the bodysuit was literally see-through. And I'm thinking like, what is going on right now in society where people are literally looking at that and thinking, I really want to walk out like that in the street. I have no idea. This trend, this Instagram baddie trend, does not work for everybody. It does not represent everyone. And that's okay to have your own unique style. Case in point, I have my own unique style. If you guys go to my Instagram, I mean, I really don't even have that many photos. I've never really conformed to being like Instagram baddie or anything. I don't think there's a single soul that would describe me as an Instagram baddie in any capacity. Now, let's get into the toxic nature of the Instagram baddie culture. There are a lot of negative aspects to that Instagram baddie culture, including the pressure to conform to following it. And there seems to be, to me, an emphasis on looks over substance. And now, don't get me wrong. I want to say, like, there is and there should be emphasis on your appearance and how you present yourself, obviously. Like, I think that goes without saying, but you need to look and feel your best without feeling like you have to literally look like the rest. And your looks on your Instagram shouldn't really be your entire personality. And I know it sounds crazy, like, duh. No. You guys don't understand. Some people's Instagram, it is their personality. These people are void of anything going on besides taking a Instagram photo. When you see them out, they're just like sitting there like, they don't have conversation. They don't know how to engage with people. All they know how to do is look good on Instagram. Can you imagine how unfulfilling that must feel? I wonder if they even know. Like, can you imagine how you're going to dinner with your friends and things like that? And can you imagine? And for half of the people that are falling into this category, it's not even their job. Because let me tell you this, being someone that is in the creative influencer space, like, we all know YouTube is where the money is, right? I think we've all established that by now. Secondly to that, it's very difficult, not impossible, but it's very difficult to make money on Instagram literally alone, meaning that is your sole job, to only make money on Instagram, because everybody knows in this space, it is one of the more challenging spaces to actually generate income from. If you don't have a channel, you know what I mean? You don't have any sort of major presence on another platform. That's just the honest truth. Again, I'm not precluding that people can't, because there are people that have made a living off of Instagram. However, it is definitely one of the more challenging platforms. And I'm pretty much willing to bet that all the people that you may assume are like treating it like it's their job, and all they really have are the numbers and the following. But I promise you, and I can assure you, there's nothing else to it. Just want to put that out there. It's like really a shame where you find yourself in a group of people and you can't seem to be present because you just have to get an Instagram photo. It's even scarier to think that you're not even getting paid for this, but this is just your personality. You can't engage with anybody because, there was a story one of my friends told me about the time where she went to, dinner with a bunch of girls, and one of the girls refused to let everyone eat because she wanted to get a really good Instagram photo. Then when she looked back at the photo, she didn't like that one of the girls had like a scrunchie on her hand, and she wanted everyone to retake it. Can you imagine being so deeply affected by that, where it's now interfering with your everyday life? Everyone's annoyed and doesn't want to hang out with you because all you care about is content. And again, it's even scarier if this is literally not even your job. Can you imagine? Now, I want to be very clear here. This is not to pass judgment on, anyone who likes that type of style or even participates in that Instagram baddie trend. It's just simply not for me. And more than likely, if you are a follower of my channel, you're a subscriber of my channel, more than likely it probably doesn't work for you either. I want you guys to embrace more timeless beauty. I feel that I've had, for the most part now, a very classic, timeless sense of style. Of course, I've gone through the trends and things like that when I was younger. I mean, guys, I used to get my hair braided, and I used to have, pink hair, blue hair, green hair, all these different things. And there was a certain time period where that's how I was also growing my following, was through my hairstyles, which is, I know it's crazy, but it's actually true. And I was experimenting with all of those things as I was trying to find myself. But for the most part, I've always been pretty conservative in like how I like to dress. Like, I don't like a lot of revealing things, especially like in the top area. Yes, I have worn like short things. I think I even have a photo on my Instagram in like a pink dress that I wore for Hale's birthday, which was fairly short. But I just have never really subscribed to, that like Instagram baddie thing where it's like you come to my page and I literally look like everybody else. There's no issue in just embracing your own unique style. There's no issue in not filtering your photos if you don't want to, and that's just not your aesthetic. There's no reason to be stressing over what you're putting on your Instagram page because it's not aesthetic enough for you. And, you just can't get yourself to, upload to Instagram without going through this like very exhausting process of feeling like you have to look like everybody else. Style is very important to me because it's not just about looking good. It's about feeling good and also respecting yourself. And in a culture, where there's a huge, emphasis on doing things that I personally am not really fond of, wearing certain types of clothing that I'm not even going to say is like for the male gaze, but I'm going to say more along the lines of just being very revealing is just not necessary. You don't have to conform to that. It is okay to be modest. It is okay to be more conservative in how you dress. And guess what? It can still be sexy. You can have a nice, long, form-fitting dress. Also, it doesn't necessarily mean everything you wear has to be long, per se, but everything doesn't need to be shown all of the time is what I'm trying to get at. And you don't have to follow certain trends and go to the places where everybody is going and all these different things. I mean, you guys are picking up what I'm laying down. You know what it is that I'm talking about, where it's just like everything is the same. Like, soon as a hairstyle hits, everybody's wearing that hairstyle. And there are some that I really like for instance, right now, I think like roller sets and like that fluffy hair look is trending, which I really like. I mean, anytime I straighten my hair, I always have done roller sets like in my hair. And I get that from my mom because my mom had like the fluffy hair and everything like that. And so I really like that. I find that to be very timeless. And like, it's like kind of trending right now, just like how like the pink Pilates princess thing was also trending. Maybe it also still is, don't know. But there are people that have really stood the test of time, right? Think about how often the Kardashians actually have to change their style. Think about where we are in a society today where now, at one point, it was all about having a very large, butt and being very curvaceous, you know what I mean? And all these different things. Fast forward to now, that 90s, 2000s look is coming back where everyone is trying to be their thinnest. And the Kardashians also have conformed to that as well. Well, Kim and Khloe and Kylie, I believe. So now they are very slim. They started to make alterations to follow whatever that trend was. Can you imagine having to be that affected? Like, can you imagine your inner climate where it's just like, man, I got to remove all of this and tone down on this and all these different things because that's just what's trending right now. And, that is an extreme example. Obviously, that is their job. But imagine like regular civilians in society and trying to keep up with people like that. Imagine, and then think about the implications of what you have to do. Back in the day, like not even really back in the day, but like a couple years ago, it was like, go have surgery, get a BBL that was like very large. And what are you going to do? Because not everybody has Kim Kardashian money. So you're going to go back to your doctor and say, hey, can you remove that and make it a little cuter, a little smaller, a little tighter? Cause I just like, yeah, like no one's doing like the big butt thing anymore. So like, can you like, you know what I mean? And now it's like, imagine those girls that have made those decisions, that have that older body type from like years ago, and how they must feel now. Food for thought. This is why it's so important to find your style, what matters to you, how you feel, you know, your best. And the reason this also matters is because how unfulfilling is it to live a life where you're just legitimately trying to, you know, be like everybody else? You're literally trying to be like everybody else. So how on earth are you truly happy? How are you going to discover yourself, what you really want to do, how you really want to look, if you're always following what you want, you know, what everybody else is doing? It's an unfulfilling life. There are, you know, icons like Diane Carroll, you know, Elizabeth Taylor. Even I feel like Marjorie Harvey is more of a great modern day example of having that timeless and classic style, you know, because there are definitely parallels that I feel like I can draw between like classic looks and also my own personal style, that I make it, you know, me. Like okay, do you guys remember like Fran from, I don't remember that show, but she was like Mr. Sheffield, like that lady who spoke like that. I really liked her style. I thought it was like cute and sexy, but also still very classy. Like she had the 2-piece tweed suits, and like, even though some of the skirts would be short sometimes, and she wore like the tights and the cute shoes and all these different things. Notice that is never gone out of style. But nobody's wearing the bodysuits with the moons on them anymore, or like the bodysuits where it's like everything was showing, or all these different things. Like, notice people are not wearing that anymore. But timeless fashion stands the test of time. So you just have to figure out, what do you want to be? And maybe there will be some times where you kind of do both. Like, I do like how there is, you know, like there's cute like sweat outfits and things like that you can wear with like cute shoes, like when you just want to look cute and like relax. Like, I like that look as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But the other day I went to visit, I went to like a high school basketball game, and I noticed that literally none of the kids were what I think dressed up. I noticed every single kid had on pajama pants, the UGG talisman, some sort of UGG period, or like really kind of beat up sneakers. And I'm not talking about the like golden goose ones. Like, I just mean like it was very obvious that the aesthetic was like, I just woke up. You know what I mean? And like, that's what's trending for, I guess, the Gen Zers. And it made me think, like, what would best dress be considered in like Gen Z's fashion? Because their style, what's trendy with them is just literally sweatpants, pajamas, gigantic hoodies, and they really put a lot of emphasis on extreme comfort, to the point where I think it could be, looks a little bit like it lacks effort, arguably, but maybe that's just me because I'm a millennial. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But the point is you need to find what your unique style is and make it work for you. Like, me, I'm very petite. So as much as I want, and I'm still on the search, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. But I want to find more like longer, flowy type stuff. And it's harder to find when you're literally like 5'2", you know? So these are just things that I want, that I know that I want my style to, you know, to embody. And the older that I become, like the more covered up I honestly want to be. And notice this, notice every single person that has like a come to God moment. Notice the first thing that they want to do is they want to cover their bodies. You don't find that to be very interesting? The first thing that they want to do is change their appearance. They want to cover up more. They want to do all these things. Why? Because they understand that not everything needs to be seen. Not everything needs to be on display. And also, it's just more classy and timeless. Guys have a vivid imagination already. They don't really need our help to see much more. You know what I mean? They really don't. So if you feel, especially my younger, you know, subscribers, if you feel this like urgency and this pressure, like, oh, everybody's like, wearing this type of outfit and all these different things. And you're not, you don't feel sexy because, you don't have like all those types of clothing. Like, trust me, you're not missing out on anything. Okay. Like people, I'm sure people, when everybody has their day, they're going to come to you and be like, huh, man, I really wish I never would have, I don't know. Maybe they won't, maybe they will. So I say all that to say that I want to emphasize the importance of being your true self. Nobody can be you, and that is your power. I understand as human beings, we are pack animals and we want to find our tribe. However, do not try and conform to something that is not you, because it's not sustainable. And that's probably why a lot of people are unhappy in life, because they don't realize that they're trying so hard to align with something that they should not even be in alignment with. You're on the wrong track of your life. And something as trivial as Instagram really does tell you a lot about a person and the things that they value. The things that they show on their Instagram stories shows you a lot about what it is that they value and what they feel like people really truly may be interested in seeing. So it's important to take note of those things. Like, I want people to be able to come to my Instagram and like, it's nice to look at, but also be like, hey, like, wow, like she's, cool. And she doesn't have like, the bodysuit with the moon on it. And she, doesn't, I just don't want to promote a lifestyle that I feel like is so completely unrealistic and something that I'm literally not living, I want to say. Like, I want everything, and I have been successful at that. Everything I show, these are things that are actually mine. These are things that this is a part of my actual lifestyle. And it's just, it can be very detrimental to your mental health when you feel like you have to keep up with these societal pressures. And I don't think that it's talked about often enough, because there are literally girls that are going home and they're scrolling through Instagram and all they are is like green with envy, where they're just like, man, like, I don't have this, I don't have that. And then that leads you to wanting to be a part of, lifestyles or trying to create ways for yourself where you can keep up with those things. Once you step out of that mindset, that doesn't exist to you anymore. And you don't even think on that track. You'll see like, oh, wow, it was only when I was trying to be a part of this and this that it was such a big deal to me. Now it's not anymore. I don't want you guys to let social media, the social media aesthetic, whatever the trending social media aesthetic is, define your beauty and define your worth. Because that's not where it is. Okay. And I'm telling you this as someone that is in this space, that I don't conform to even what those, what you would think the standards are for those things, like literally in any capacity, nor am I interested in it. So I want you guys to hear it from my mouth that it is okay to be yourself and to just show modesty and to have that timeless and that classic style, and to not always feel the pressure to have to conform to anything that does not align with you. And I want to also say this, because then it leads you into having and embracing ideologies that you should not have to in order to achieve what you feel like those other girls are, or whatever in order to achieve what they have. And that's a dangerous mindset. Like, you shouldn't hop on social media and feel sad because, oh my gosh, this person just got this and they're showing that for Valentine's Day, they got all these different things, or those pages you go to with Instagram girls or stuff like that, or bartenders. And you're just like, wait, how are they living this life? Like, what's going on? It's exactly what you think it is. It is precisely what you think it is. It is not. So you don't realize what it is that you're actually trying to compete up against. You don't realize what it is that you're actually trying to align yourself with. A lot of these people that are showcasing those things are living a lifestyle that I'm sure you wouldn't be willing to want to be a part of in order to achieve those things, in order to try and take those pictures and all of these different things. Now, what I want you guys to do is share your own story. And I want to hear it in the comment section down below so that you guys are helping each other? Like, have you ever felt pressure to want to conform to what everyone else is posting? Have you ever had to take a social media break because you felt like everybody looked the same? Have you ever been in a position where you felt like you had to keep up with the Joneses because no one was going to like your photo or no one will be interested in following you? Like, I want to know. I want to hear it all because I feel like it will definitely help someone. Don't ever be afraid to comment and share your testimony and share your story, because you never know who it's actually going to help, because we're all here to help each other after all. So that is the end of this video, angels. I hope that this was thought-provoking for you. And with that being said, do not forget that I love you and God loves you, and I'll speak to you beautiful angels in my next video. Mwah.